This is Black History Month, and I have the pleasure of introducing a piece of Black history. Dr. Lee is a member of the board here. I think the spirit of the DuBois Center. When I see him, I see Kwame Nkrumah, I see DuBois, because he lived and worked with them and been in Ghana for 40 some years, continuing to work, taking care of business. So we'd like to have Dr. Lee come and give the welcome address and give him a big round of applause. A living legend.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to welcome you here at the DuBois Center for Pan-African Culture. Now, the most important part of this center is not really the Pan-African culture. It is the fact that this is also the tomb of Dr. William Edward Burkhardt DuBois. The night that Dr. DuBois died, he died right here in this house. Some of us who were living here at that time, while the Africans in America were marching around Washington, we were marching around the embassy here and marching around this very house because Dr. DuBois was dying that same night. So some of us are quite conscious of the connection between the life and times of Dr. DuBois and the events that were taking place in America. Now, Dr. DuBois has the reputation of being the father of Pan-Africanism, and therefore that puts a special significance to this concert we are giving tonight. You know that many years ago, millions of Africans were sent to the Western Hemisphere, North and South America, United States of America, Caribbean America, South America, and Brazil, and so forth. And they carried away with them certain cultural inputs into their personal computers. Now, in the personal computers that they carried with them, which nobody could take away, is embedded the very culture you are now trying to witness. You see, this is not just a jazz concert. This is a reflection of the effect of history of culture on the African people wherever they are in the world. You've seen already local Africans perform original African rhythms. From those very local rhythms, 200, 300, 400 years ago, sprung the present-day jazz culture. And that jazz culture is the educated, grown-up, acculturated African culture imposed upon by European culture and other cultures. That's what we're looking at. Now, from time to time, after independence, this meeting of the various phases in African culture have an opportunity to come together, which is what they're doing here at the tomb of Dr. DuBois, at the DuBois Center for Pan-African Culture. And this is what Pan-African culture really means. Getting together people of African descent from all over the world to share their historical linkages through cultural exploits. This music tonight is the fundamental thing that Africans took to America, out of which grew our present famous jazz culture. The modern music in America is quite different from the music in Germany and China because of the influence of African culture. So this is the original DuBois tomb. This is the original Pan-African Center. Ghana is now becoming the Pan-African capital of the world. So I welcome you on the part of the members, staff, board of directors of the DuBois Center for Pan-African Culture, and on my behalf, back to your hometown, Ghana, the Pan-African capital of the world.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. A living legend. Kwame Nkrumah, W.E.B. Du Bois, walking the same spirit, walking amongst us. That's a blessing. So now we're ready to be entertained by the world-renowned Pan-African Orchestra. They had hits on the Billboard charts in America, and they're getting ready to go on a West African tour. And we're lucky to have them here to perform for us tonight. So without further ado, the Pan-African Orchestra. Nana Danso, and the Pan-African Orchestra.